According to FaulesGaming, this is every game of the year ever. So let's discuss. This should be a pretty good time. I don't think anyone's going to argue that Pac-Man doesn't deserve it in 1980. I mean, you're looking at 2025 now. They're still selling the merchandise and little spin-off games. And then you've got Donkey Kong here in 1981. I mean, 2 big years already, right? The golden age of games, you know? This is when games finally evolved to be sort of like the modernized pixel style as we knew them for a very long time, going into the 8-bit and 16-bit era. I actually think Donkey Kong is a more incredible achievement than Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a great single-screen experience, but 1981 is when we finally got to see the birth of, like, platforming games as we know them, and having Mario, or Jumpman as he was called back then, running around, doing different obstacles, jumps, avoiding barrels, and with the increasing difficulty, which also was kind of a new thing. Yeah, man, like, this is a great experience. I still play Donkey Kong, the OG one, even today. I prefer to play this over Donkey Kong Country. Now, here we go, Cupid. Look, I acknowledge that this is a very, very cool game. I like what they've done here with the isometric style, but I've just never been very good at being able to follow this kind of game brain-wise, right? But here we go. We got Mario 3. Most people to this day only remember Mario from Super Mario Brothers, where it all began. And for those people who are not old enough, they forget that Mario also started as like a single-screen arcade game. I think people sometimes go to sleep on Mario Brothers in 1983. This game was incredible. Lots of different enemies and increased challenge as the levels went on. I borrowed this on console off my friend growing up at the age of 10. The NES port was brilliant. Give this a try if you haven't. This game is absolutely brilliant. Even for back in 1983, wonderful sounds. And it could have used probably a backing track. But... Now, I didn't know Marble Madness got Game of the Year in 1984. I don't know if this is an opinion piece or if this is official. There were some pretty cool games in 1984. I think Paperboy was another one, but Marble Madness was okay. And yeah, look, here you go. Super Mario Brothers. Birth of an era, basically. I mean, even Mario games today are coming out in this side-scrolling platformer style. This is great. We now have Legend of Zelda 1986. I don't know if everyone has a story or a memory from Legend of Zelda, but I remember when we first got to see this game. I remember I was in Southport, I think. My auntie's boyfriend bought this. He was like a big brother figure to me. And I noticed straight away it was in a fancy gold cartridge. And then we took it home, 88, played it for the first time. Couldn't believe my eyes. I've never experienced an open world adventure before, and this was my first time. Totally revolutionary, man. Such a great memory. It was a happy day when this was a hand-me-down for my birthday when I finally got an NES on my own. One of the earliest games I beat too, probably in like the first 4 or 5 NES games I ever beat this one. Thankfully I had a mentor to watch. He actually even made his own maps, which was fantastic. Oh, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, bro. I don't need to say too much. This is like a boxing game with the hidden puzzle elements in it. One of my favorite games of all time. I crushed this. Not much else needs to be said. Mario 3. Oh, dude. You know, I think most people remember Mario 3 from watching the movie The Wizard, which was basically a 90-minute NES commercial, really, if you think about it looking back. Even the arcade games were NES games, which I found absolutely hilarious back then. Mario 3 was incredible. I didn't see this game for the first time until 1990 or 1991, actually. Australia got it pretty late. I think Japan published this in 1988, if I'm not mistaken, and we barely had Mario 2 at that point. But great memories in 1992, 1993, sleepovers with their friends, playing this till late, finishing World 8. Man, great memories. I still play this game to this day. Still as fun to stream as ever, man. I could play this any day of the week. I'm not great at it, though. I have a funny feeling that this list right now, my friend, is an opinion, because I don't think anyone's going to agree with you that 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES is Game of the Year. Maybe the person who made this list did some research on the internet and actually accidentally put this version of the Turtles in instead of the arcade version of the Turtles, if that makes sense. So I will give the benefit of the doubt. With that being said, the more I play 1989 NES Turtles, the more I love it. It's one of my favorite games to stream. But it has people divided. There's no universe where I think the NES one is going to be the game of the year. Fun game if you can stand the difficulty and give it a chance, but incredibly frustrating. It will lose people. Well, see, this is what I mean. I think this is a more reasonable pick. Super Mario World. Yeah, man. I mean, this is basically Mario 3 taken up to another level on steroids, right? This game's really special. Oh, dude. I don't know too many people who don't have a Street Fighter 2 memory. I've got so many. From the first time playing this at the video store on an arcade machine, to playing this at Mr. Toy's Toy World on display, to seeing this on the shelf for $130 Australian on Super Nintendo in 1992, sleepover parties, rentals. I mean, this game was where it was at, right? We all know what Street Fighter is, and this is why the formula still works even in the modern fighting games even today. This one was absolutely incredible. Oh, Wolfenstein 3D game. Was this one game of the year? This game was pretty incredible. I think people do sleep on Wolfenstein just because Doom a year and a bit later was such an evolution. And here you go. I mean, I think Wolfenstein warped so Doom could run, you know what I mean? And, I mean, I still have a great time streaming this game. Donkey Kong Country. Such a revolutionary game from a visual and gameplay perspective. Lots of great elements in this platforming game. And a rebirth of Donkey Kong as well. You know, Donkey Kong kind of, I guess you could say, simmered down a bit after the mid-80s and then came back with this and then the wonderful Game Boy port of Donkey Kong. Well, do I think it's a game of the year? I mean, I think it was certainly very popular and had a lot of hype, so it certainly deserves points for that. I think some people gave up on it because of its difficulty. Hey, I'll let you guys be the judge. I'm starting to think that this list is not official. Let me know. I'm just reacting to this blindly, but I'm very interested in the list so far. So, Chrono Trigger. See, this is a tricky one because we had such a big era for games by the mid-90s, hey? But I would certainly say Chrono Trigger is in the top 3 games on Super Nintendo. Oh, geez, it's just skipped ahead already. I'm trying to explain what Chrono Trigger is. Basically, it's one of the best RPG experiences of all time from a 16-bit text-based perspective. Now we're going to go to Mario 64. This game is great. Revolutionized Mario 3D games. You know, most games at this point in time, actually, you couldn't control the camera. And it wasn't perfect, but at least there was buttons on the Nintendo 64 that made it easy to center where you were going. And so compared to other Nintendo 64 nightmares, this was certainly a 3D game done right. So kudos to Mario 64. I wish I knew how to play that bad boy better. Oh, GoldenEye was really special. Yeah, I mean, what a great James Bond movie that was. And to give such a great James Bond experience in return on Nintendo 64, great memories. Yeah, dude, look, I don't think too many people are going to disagree with Zelda Ocarina of Time in 1998. Wow. I mean, just what an epic, like, absolutely epic quest that was. And I mean, I'm not a big Zelda guy, but even I put hours upon hours upon hours in Ocarina of Time. And the graphics were just so far ahead on console back in 1998 Nintendo 64. I used to just love to wander around on the world map sometimes, grinding enemies just to enjoy the view of the day and night cycle. I kid you not. I just thought it was such a beautifully stunning game, and I would get lost in the universe. Very surprised that they didn't put Final Fantasy VII as Game of the Year. I honestly thought that would be on this list. But all good. I mean, Ocarina of Time definitely deserves to be on here. Do we have Unreal Game of the Year edition? Unreal Tournament. I'm pretty sure that was Game of the Year, wasn't it? The Soul Calibur 1999. No Unreal? Hey. I mean, look how lovely this looks compared to other fighting games at the time. This is a pretty stunning game, isn't it? Never gotten to Soul Calibur too much, but respected it. Now, Tony Hawk is a great franchise, but by the year 2000, I don't know if I'd give Tony Hawk a Game of the Year. However, I do know a lot of people loved it. Halo Combat Evolved. Yeah, you know what? This one's pretty much fair enough, I think. I don't know if it was Halo 1 or Halo 2 that people loved the most. But in this time period, yeah, this game was pretty special. I remember this was the first game I ever played over a LAN network. I know I was a bit late to the party, but I used to LAN up with my friend, Xbox to Xbox, and we'd play in separate rooms together. It was absolutely awesome. But this had just like a wonderful quest with multiple difficulties, reason to replay it. You just get lost in like the alien universe in this. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and you got to play the reloaded version as well on the Halo collection too. Definitely check that out. I like that you can swap the graphics around too. Metroid Prime is fantastic. Metroid games and puzzle, action, platformer, 3D adventure games that can be a little bit too hard for me. I'm not very good at figuring out where to go, but respect. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, was that all the way back in 2003? Was it really? Jeez, I didn't even realize it was that old. You know, I've had this game for like a couple decades and never pulled it out of my collection to play. I may have to do that eventually. Everyone tells me this is still one of the best Star Wars experiences to be had even today. And that says a lot being that it's 20 years old. I can't believe it's that old. Yeah, wow. Oh, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Look, you know what? San Andreas had a wonderful storyline, open world. But I feel like it was kind of like a victim of its own evolution, if that makes sense. I feel like San Andreas tried to do too many things. Like you had to go to the gym, maintain your weight. And it just got really annoying to do so many things while also concentrating on actually doing the quests. I loved Vice City. I loved the 80s Miami Vice and Scarface aesthetic. And I also liked it. They did the less is more approach. It was pretty much just all about doing missions and then a little extra, having strongholds and things like that, which was pretty cool. I feel like San Andreas was fantastic, but it did too much, myself personally. Don't expect everyone to agree, of course. Here we go again.
5 years, but the ballers won't give a shit.
We got Resident Evil 4. Yeah, this game was pretty special. I didn't get into this version, but Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of my favorite games ever made. And again, it had to come from somewhere, so respect. I love survival horror Resident Evil. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Oh man, this game's incredible. Not played it to completion because I always get distracted. But this one got a remake for a reason. Very special 3D RPG. Bioshock. This is another trilogy of games I've had in my collection for a few years and never completed, but tried. Surprised people I don't see them streaming it that much these days, considering how popular it was. And again, you know what? I feel like, again, this is another Grand Theft Auto game. Grand Theft Auto 4 warped so Grand Theft Auto 5 could run. I feel like graphically, if you play it on PC with all the high resolution settings, it still holds up. It's still fun to play. Where this game loses me as a casual gamer is when you do a mission and fail, you have to go all the way back, get the mission, and then go to the mission location again. Oh, it was just tedious. People who have busy lives don't have time for that. Thank goodness Grand Theft Auto 5 came out with a better story and better checkpoint system. If they were ever to remaster Grand Theft Auto 4, these quality of life improvements would really put it on the map again, I think. But there's a reason you don't see many people streaming Grand Theft Auto 4 these days, and I feel like it's more frustrating than people care to admit. Such a great story in game, though. What do we got? Uncharted Among Thieves. They say Uncharted 2 is among the best in the franchise. A lot of people's favorite PS3 game, I hear. Respect, never got into the Uncharted series. Do own all of them. Oh, Red Dead Redemption was fantastic. Easy to get lost in the Wild West universe. Wonderful plot twist. Yeah, wow. I mean, what else do I need to say about it? We got the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. If there was one thing I wish I could do now more than anything, is it would be to play Skyrim on my stream. Unfortunately, we are in this age right now where you just need to constantly grab people's attention every 2 seconds with boom, 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 shoot, 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 Michael Bay, constantly things happening stuff. Whereas you can't just like enjoy things at your own pace and leave yourself open to a universe, a story, and experience anymore. And it's a real shame. We were always constantly just need input, input, input. We're all Johnny Five sumbishes these days. I hope one day there'll be a time where I can stream this and get lost in the Skyrim universe again. That would make me so happy. One of the best RPG experiences ever. A phenomenal game. Every time it gets re-released, my dumbass always keeps rebuying this one. Really.
And a bit more hilarious.
The Walking... I didn't realize this one got Game of the Year. Oh, this is a wonderful point-and-click adventure game. I love the whole franchise in the game. Sometimes you just want to enjoy a good story, and I hope I can play that again on Horror Night. Grand Theft Auto 5, look, we don't need to stop. Everyone knows what this game is. Great story, wonderful online mode that's still relevant 14 years later, even today. Dragon Age Inquisition, you know, I own this game. I've not actually played this game. I have played the older Dragon Age games. And you know what? They're a wonderful experience. They say that, a lot of people say, I don't say everyone, but a lot of people say that Dragon Age Inquisition is even better. I'll have to try it out one day and see for myself. I wouldn't even be know to what to expect in this game. But hey, it's in my collection for a rainy day. We'll have to try it sometime. Let me know what you think of this game in the chat, everybody. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Yeah, I've played a fair bit of The Witcher. I mean, if you don't want to get lost in the Skyrim universe, or the Skyrim universe is getting stale, then hey man, chuck in The Witcher 3. This is another great RPG 3D adventure. And we got Overwatch. Okay, you know, Overwatch now is probably like the closest thing we have to sort of like an Unreal Tournament sort of style game still in the market, if that makes sense. I know these Call of Duty games and all that are all well and good, but I kind of like the gladiatorial sort of like combat in my FPS or my third-person shooters. And that's what I liked about Overwatch and Unreal Tournament, because they felt more like sport, you know, like a gladiator arena, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. If it doesn't, I apologize. But I like the sport of these kind of shooters, and that's why I think Overwatch kind of scratched the itch for me. But yeah, I still miss Unreal Tournament. I really do. Overwatch is still pretty good, but although a lot of people are kind of torn on the second one these days, I tried it out. I thought it was okay. Yeah, Breath of the Wild's a wonderful experience. You know, I'm not really into the big 3D Zelda games these days, but this was a wonderful adventure to get lost into for a while. Great way to put the Switch on the map. And God of War, geez man, I still need to play this game to completion. But what a wonderful cinematic experience, man. It feels as equal part action as it does movie. My only struggle with God of War was some of the puzzles, but so easy to forget who you are and where you are when you play this game. You really do feel engrossed in part of the story. This is phenomenal. Kratos is just such a great character, and the rebirth of this on PlayStation 4, wow. Yeah, such a great game. Oh, Sekiro, you know, this is a game that I have in my collection, and it was actually gifted to me back in 2019. I'm very, very sorry, Johnny Price, because that was you, and I never played it. I should do it one day. Last of Us 2, pretty good. I personally preferred the first one. I kind of got lost about halfway through, didn't complete it. A lot of people complain it's too long. I think they might be right. This is a game I've got in my collection that I've just been staring at and just not played. And usually when I go to people's houses, I always see it in their collection too. It Takes Two. I mean, this is apparently the ultimate boyfriend and girlfriend co-op game. Apparently it's something really special. I really hope to try this sometime. I hear nothing but good things about It Takes Two. We got Elden Ring here. Oh gosh, I mean, Souls games. I like that they at least made Elden Ring a little bit more accessible for the casuals. But you're gonna die and die a lot playing this. I couldn't handle it, to be honest. Baldur's Gate 3 breaks my heart, being that I'm a casual streamer. I still haven't had the chance to play Baldur's Gate 3. One of the biggest curses about being a streamer is you get caught up in the whole, well, if I'm not going to turn it into content, it's a waste of time. And so I'm not very good at just playing games for myself anymore. Baldur's Gate would easily be in the top 5 games that I really, really want to play and that I haven't played yet. But, you know, everyone plays Baldur's Gate 3. It basically takes, like, the RPG genre, the classic style, and makes it accessible for RPG fans and casual as well, as far as I've heard. So, probably a well-deserved pick here, definitely. I really hope to try it sometime.
By the 9 hells, open the gates!
What do we got? Astrobot. Oh, I played this in VR. I haven't actually played the official release as a platforming game, but I played this in VR, and I could tell even then it was more of a tech demo-y type of game. It really was something special. So interesting pick for 2024. But thank you for watching this list. You know, I agree with most of the list. I do think there were certainly some notable omissions, but obviously you could only pick one game a year. So if you would include something different, let me know what you guys would pick. And we'll see you in another video. Take care, everybody.